We would love to be able to go Thalia's Lieutenant next turn. Oh my goodness, sign me up. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today, we're actually playing some Collected Company. It's been a long time since we played Collecting Company on the channel, and it's normally because we kind of stick to jankier things. And with as powerful as Collected Company is, people push back at the idea that Collected Company could be jank. Well, you know what? I agree with you. This card is just really strong. So we just don't play it very often. And when you're looking at this deck, you'll probably say, hey, John, this isn't jank at all. And I agree with you. I don't think it really is. This is very similar to, you know, the human style deck that you will have seen in Historic before. Things like Thalia's Lieutenant, Luminarch Aspirant, some Elite Spellbinder stuff. All of it is because I want to play with Torens Fist of the Angels. This very well may be my favorite card out of the new set, which is saying something. I have a lot of really exciting cards out of here. 3 mana 2/2 training, which means whenever a creature attacks, or whenever this creature attacks with another creature of greater power, put a 1/1 counter on Torens in this case. So if we attack with a 3/1, like Elite Spellbinder, Torens will get a 1/1 counter, right? And the issue is, whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green and white human soldier with training. So it will also grow. So I love this kind of onboard value and stuff. We're probably, this is not going to be the only time you see Torens on my channel. I can tell you that right now. But if we're going to be casting creatures, we're going to be making humans. It is a human. Like, the first place we want to go is things like Thalia's Lieutenant, right? And if we're going to be doing Thalia's Lieutenants and Luminarch Aspirants, you know, humans and counters and stuff, because obviously being able to put the counter wherever we want works very, very well with training. We should be on Esper Sentinel. So that is going to lead to something of a human shell. Now, this isn't strictly humans, right? We have a few spirits, Usher the Fallen, that makes humans, but is not a human. And Skyclave Apparition, again, not a human, but some disruption, I think, pretty important here. Giant Killer, also a human, with, as, you know, that also fills the interaction role. And lastly, Katilda says, human creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color, or any of this creature's colors. So Katilda can tap for either a green or a white herself. So she is just a 2 mana rock, right? And then also can pay 6 mana, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So is both a good early game ramp spell into Collected Company, but also, you know, whatever. A late game engine if it comes off the top. So, you know, how am I expecting the deck to do? I mean, I expect it to do pretty well. It's similar to humans, but you know, the only way we'll find out is if we actually go and play the games. All right, folks. Yeah, I think we'll hang into this. Up against Ghoul Reborn. Oh, crud. Our opponent named Ghoul Reborn, casting a zombie on turn 1. Suspicious, if you ask me. Faceless Haven comes down. Opponent attacks Shambling Ghast. Gets down another Shambling Ghast past the turn. Sure. Well, then we're going to go ahead and Katilda, Thraben Inspector, past the turn. A third Shambling Ghast? Good heavens. And the opponent just passes. Alright, well, fine. So let's start with Collected Company right during our main phase here. Yes. This is absolutely the sort of thing we want to do. And then hold on for now, I think. Let's see. What do we want to do, though? Let's put the counter on Luminarch Aspirant herself, because our opponent could be doing something unexpected. I am expecting something like zombies or something, you know? Opponent Cling to Dust. Yes. We will draw a card. Don't mind if I do. Yep, going to draw a card for your trouble. Indeed. Oh, no attacks. Going to crack a clue here, I think. Solemn Simulacrum. All right. One goes to find, presumably, a swamp. Indeed, it is the case. And our turn, sure enough. Well, let's crack a clue, shall we? Another Elite Spellbinder makes it to the hand. Well, then I guess let's Torens. Get a counter. And Elite Spellbinder. Make that Deadly Dispute expensive. And you know what? What the heck? Let's make a bunch of dudes. Make the Skullport Merchant expensive as well. And let's see. Yeah, let's just grow our flyers here. Because, of course, the Shambling Ghasts are going to want to try and ping down our flyers as best they can. Opponent gets a land. Passing through. It appears so... Oh, my goodness, folks. Okay. Well, that was a very good draw. Let's make another dude. Get a counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. Opponent's probably thinking, are we supposed to draw with Castle Lockthwain now? Right? That's probably what they're thinking. Or do we wait? Right? So, land. Combat. Where do we put the counter, folks? I guess on Katilda. And we are just getting in with everybody. No question about that. Training. 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 Pass. This is a lot of damage. Our opponent doesn't have to take all of it, though. Obviously. So, opponent going to chump the Thalia's Lieutenant, unsurprisingly. Block the Torens. Block the Luminarch Aspirant. Block the Katilda. Take a lot. But going to Deadly Dispute, sacrifice a Shambling Ghast. Giving -1/-1 to Elite Spellbinder. We draw a card. Another Katilda. How about that? Opponent draws a couple of cards. We go to damage. Opponent clings. They draw a card. Drop to 3. -1/-1. -1/-1. No, treasure. Treasure. Draw. I wonder if that means they are looking for a board sweeper, I assume. Alright. It's got to be a very specific kind of board sweeper, though. Right? So, like, Ritual of Soot would be good here. It would get us really good. Because, like, Languish wouldn't. Right? Obviously, something like Cry the Canarium or something like that wouldn't really get us either. You know, they have 2 cards in hand, but a million mana. So I guess they could also have... Oh, Mihug Masker? Alright. I mean, that kind of gets us, right? The Thalia's Lieutenant survives, but our opponent gains a lot of life. Up to not dead anymore. Did they also draw a removal spell for Thalia's Lieutenant? Oh my gosh, that would be brutal, right? You know? Okay. Well, that's a good one. So let's start there. Collect a company. Into a Torens and Esper Sentinel, I suppose. Yep. And I guess get down a Katilda. Create a dude. To get a counter. To grow the Thalia's Lieutenant. To attack. Opponent. Do you have another removal spell? Cling to Dust. That spends all their mana. Oh, did they have... They did. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, there was a target there. I was thinking it was, they had to get a land card to gain the life. But sure enough, our opponent able to stay in the game. We're not thrilled about them staying in the game, but... Okay, well, never mind. They're also not thrilled about them staying in the game, because they didn't stay in the game for very long. Alright, folks, here we are, up against Rivik. Good luck, Rivik. Yeah, we're gonna hang on to this. You know, this is an aggressive start if I ever saw one. And if we were on the draw, this would be a little sketchier, but darn it, on the play. One drop into one drop is a very, very strong thing. Whoa, Skirk Prospector. For our opponent. Well, sure. Alright, and Thraben Inspector. We don't expect Esper Sentinel to draw us very many cards here, but we do want the creature in play just because of the Thalia's Lieutenant. Alright, Wily Goblin, sure. Yep. Oh boy, holy crud, folks. Well, you know, we would love to be able to go Thalia's Lieutenant next turn. Oh my goodness, sign me up. Please, untapped land. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We would love that. Admittedly, there aren't any lands in our deck that are tapped lands, so I guess just a land would be, you know, an acceptable way of saying that. No. All right, well, that's fine. Thalia's Lieutenant number 2. Going to both trigger Thalia's Lieutenant and do its own thing, which is putting counters on everybody. Yeah, that would have been very much game if we had drawn an untapped land there. Please don't kill us. Opponent. Phyrexian Tower for 2 mana. Skirk Prospector, sacrificing a Skirk Prospector for Muxus. Into everything they could have asked for. Darn it! Oh, man! Folks, it be that way sometimes. It be that way. Alright. Yeah, Skirk Prospector going to do some sacrificing here, presumably to cast, you know, more very powerful things. Presumably sacrificing a Krenko, sacrificing a Wily Goblin, maybe a dude or two for... Oh, okay. Another Goblin Chieftain, sure. I was thinking another Krenko, but, you know. Our opponent does not need that nonsense. GG, GG. You got it, Rivik. You got it. Man, I really wish we had gotten that untapped land. No. Oh, well. GG, opponent. GG. All right, folks. Here we are up against Loical Set. Good luck, Loical Set. And yeah, I think we're hanging on to this. It's a little bit of an odd hand, to be sure, but the Katilda does provide us with a bunch of mana. So we'll see. Opponent goes the Snow-Covered Mountain Fireblade Charger. Oh boy. Is this just mono red, or is our opponent actually doing equipment style stuff? This is pretty reasonable in both cases. Loical Set, Bone Crushers, our dude, and attacks for 1. This is fine. So I guess for now, we're just going to Luminarch Aspirant, get a counter on it. And hang on for dear life, as they say. It's possible we're supposed to Katilda there. I'm worried because we would have shocked in and made a 1/1. This, at least Luminarch Aspirant starts growing. We know they're going to kill it. This is, you know, this is definitely not surprising. Oh, crud. Okay. Opponent has to thud to get rid of it. Well, that's not bad at all. So I guess, considering they're down to 2 cards in hand, we're going to Usher the Fallen and Katilda. The Usher the Fallen, not actually a human, right? And human creatures tap for mana. So that part, not ideal. But before they have a chance to disrupt us too much... Oh, boy, yes. Let's do these things. Don't mind if I do. And we are going to grow the Usher of the Fallen to be able to trade with the Bone Crusher Giant. If our opponent decides to thud the Bone Crusher Giant, like, okay, you know. If they don't, though, another Thalia's Lieutenant is a terrifying, terrifying prospect. For our opponent, that is, of course. For now, we're quite happy. All of these very powerful threats on their own. Even the Usher of the Fallen. All right. Hey. Don't mind if I do. Esper Sentinel. Come on down. Grow the Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant. Grow the team. And we're not going to be casting additional things here. Just dropping our opponent's life total to 8 and passing the turn. We have a whole bunch of different combinations, folks, where we'll be able to kill our opponent. They get a white land. They are not mono red. They must be on Boros aggro, where they have all the, you know, yeah, the very small aggressive creatures that get bigger when you cast spells and stuff, you know. They kept a risky hand, to be sure, and it did not pay off. GG, opponent, GG. All right, folks, and we are back. Wow, that did not go as expected. We kind of got beat up a little bit. Had several losses in there that were heartbreaking ones. Very, very close. And we also, I think we were at the capricious nature of the magic deities. You know, they really did not smile upon us. Our first 3 games were on the draw against some very, very aggressive decks. And, like, we had Goblins dead on board anyway. And then they drew the perfect 3 cards sort of thing, you know. And, like, you know, just some things like that. So I don't know if this deck is not great, or if we just need to tweak the numbers a little bit. It's possible we want a little more disruption. Being able to collect a company into Skyclave Apparitions is a really, really powerful thing to do. So maybe if you were looking to build this deck, maybe we would go with like 2 more Skyclave Apparitions down to Usher of the Fallen, perhaps. It is an aggressive creature, and we do want to stay aggressive, but just being able to collect a company into more 3-drops is good. We also had a really heartbreaking collected company for just 1 creature in one of our losses. We're on 33 hits. Hitting just 1 creature is exceedingly unlikely in that case. And sure enough, it was only a Thraben Inspector as well. Just brutal. So, you know, there is that. Another thing you might do is, I don't know, Katilda, when we had it on board long enough to tap for mana, was very, very good. We were able to really dump our hand on the ground. It did make us susceptible to some board sweepers and stuff, though. So part of that was just running into bad matchups. We had one of our losses was against a Niv Mizzet deck, which was really sad, heartbreaking loss because they had 2 Deafening Clarions, and we got to disrupt their hand with the Elite Spellbinders and things, and they just drew perfectly. You know, just... yeah, the magic deities were not smiling on us today. So, I don't know. I think I might end up playing some of this on stream at some point, just to try and test it out a little more. Because, holy crud, this did not do as well as I would have expected. I think the deck is relatively strong, and we got some really, really unfavorable luck. But either way, as far as would I put my stamp of approval on this deck, I can't. Normally, I feel like I would be very safe to say that with all of the power level of cards we see here. They're very, very powerful cards. But for some reason, my combination of them did not do what I would have expected it to do. Even though, admittedly, a whole bunch of those games could have broken the other way very, very easily. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe your mileage may vary. Either way, I will catch you all next time. Thank you for being here.